back to the Friday vlog series where once again we're going to split the video into...
It's Friday?
It's Thursday today, but it's the Friday vlog series.
Yeah, but it's not Friday.
So part one of this video is there is a bike seat that has ended up on the BMC Teammachine, and I guess you would call it bittersweet. So by bittersweet, I mean that this saddle right here, it's the SMP Volcore to be exact, it's helped me in a number of ways. And that's the sweet part, which we're going to get to shortly. The bitter part of it is that it is a polarizing seat. Kind of reminds me when you've got a pimple in the middle of your forehead, the only thing you can do is concentrate on the pimple in the middle of your forehead, and it's not a good look. In fact, I remember many years ago when I was on the hunt for the perfect bike seat. I spent hundreds of dollars and I never found the perfect bike seat, but I remember coming across this saddle right here and I thought to myself, that will never end up on my bike. Well, champ, it has. And the unfortunate thing for me is now this will be the never-ending pimple on my bike moving forward. It's always going to be there and I'm not sure what to make of it. I'm a little upset. This isn't YouTube drama. I'm actually quite bloody pissed. But there is a good reason for it being there, and I'm going to let Neill explain to you. That's Neill Stanbury, the bike fitting expert, who is the culprit that actually put me on the seat, and he came around to my house again during this week for another round of bike fitting videos, and I asked him the question, why have you put me on this saddle, Neill? Can you explain to everyone what the purpose of this saddle is and help other people out there understand what benefits it has if they're experiencing similar issues to mine? Albeit, I never really had compelling issues to change seats. I was on this toupe or toupe, whatever you want to call it, from Specialized for a number of years, and it wasn't until I changed crank length from 172.5 to 165. If you missed that video, I'll put it up somewhere up there. And that has caused me to change my position on the bike and has resulted in me needing a new seat. Now, before Neill explains to you why I'm going on this SMP here, you might be interested to learn that the SMP saddles are actually patent design technology, which was done way back in 2014. 4 patents were put on these seats to be exact. And it's hard to find online whether these patents are still in place. But when you look around, there doesn't really appear to be many seats of a similar nature to the SMP. The other thing that I found interesting about the SMP seat is that it's been recognised in the Journal of Sexual Medicine for its design, which takes pressure off the old mate region, which is very important for those male cyclists out there. Now, before Neill explains why I have moved to the SMP, I always neglect to do this in many videos, so I just wanted to thank you for clicking on my vids, supporting my work, and a special shout out to the channel members. I'll put your names up on the screen who support my work financially by shouting me a virtual coffee. So let's hear what Neill has to say about this sexually recognised bike seat.
Yeah, so when you went to the shorter cranks, you were able to cope with a fair bit more reach and drop to the front end, and we were also able to raise the seat a little bit. All of that, and with what it's done for your hip impingement, it's allowed you to roll your hips further forward.
Originally going on that seat there.
Yeah, you were on a tube before.
Yeah, that's it.
And so as soon as that occurred, you started to notice that the front of this seat was causing trouble. It was painful and running and so forth. So what we needed was a saddle which allowed more anterior pelvic rotation. And I had a couple of the SMPs lying around. We're having big trouble getting stock of these at the moment. Yes. They're produced in Italy and they've been hit hard by the coronavirus. So there's very low stock. And so the one that I wanted you to try most, which is called the Nimba, which is the same as this but with a little bit of padding on it.
Yes.
We can't get one at the moment easily, but the Volcore is a paddless version of the Nimba, I believe.
Sounds comfy.
Sounds very comfy. You've actually found it's quite good, but you are getting a little bit of saddle sore type stuff on one side.
On the left-hand side.
Yeah, you're a little bit asymmetrical despite our best efforts in that, and so you drop your right hip and you load the left side of the seat very slightly, and the lack of padding is then giving you the trouble on that left side. But because you're able to roll your pelvis further forward, we needed a saddle which allowed that to occur. And the SMPs are really good for this. The Dynamic, the Light 209, the Volcore, the Blaster, the Nimba, the Volcore, these are all saddles which allow quite a lot of anterior pelvic rotation.
How often do you recommend those saddles to clients?
Fairly regularly, yeah. I keep a bit of a stock of them lying around in case of all the people that come in to see me with saddle trouble,
yes.
a huge majority of them, the problem with the seat is the front.
Right.
They say, oh, I've tried 50 different seats and I get perineum numbness,
yes.
crotch numbness all the time. And so these are one of the styles that we trial them on to try and unload that area.
Yeah.
The other one is that SQ Labs saddle that I mentioned to you before.
Yeah.
And if you get really stuck, one of those will unload the front a lot. And it may even allow you to roll your pelvis forward a little bit more than this.
Yes.
So
the other thing it did as well is I was constantly pushing back on the seat,
yeah.
and you said this would make me sit in one place, which
has
essentially it has actually.
It has.
Occasionally I do it, but like
much less.
Yeah,
so the SMPs tend to locate your pelvis much more rigidly than a flat style seat. Basically, you try and shift forwards on one of these and it just won't let you. You try and shift back and it won't let you.
No.
Whereas on something like that, you can move around into
heaps.
a lot of different locations. So a lot of riders have a tendency to creep forward under high load. It's sometimes a problem with the position and sometimes it's just their physiology and how they ride. And if you don't like that sensation, an SMP is one of the best ways of stopping it because it'll really hold your pelvis quite
And you think they're a good looking saddle?
It's a matter of personal opinion, that one. They're polarising.
It's ruined the look of my bike. And the thing is, moving forward, if that is my saddle, it's going to be on all my bikes moving forward.
Yeah, and they're not cheap. They're not cheap. I don't know if you want to go and Google the prices of them at the moment, but
what are they?
Last time I checked, the retail was about $380.
Wow, okay.
So very expensive saddle. I believe the reason might be that they've got an international patent on the shape, which is why you don't see any other saddles of a similar design.
Interesting.
And they fairly rigorously defend their patent, which is fair enough. They basically invented this style of seat. And for a lot of serious cyclists, they're very, very good. Yeah.
Do you see them in the pro peloton?
It's a good question. It's actually a tough question because how often do you look at the person's seat up close enough to tell?
You don't. I'm in cycling tips articles when they show the bike, but I know there's a couple of elite riders in Melbourne that swear by them. But yeah, I didn't know about the pro side of things. And look, for me, it's working outside of that sort of saddle sore that I've been getting a little bit. It's worked really. It's ticked the box in terms of freeing up my old mates.
Yep.
And also sitting in that sort of synchronised position. And
in terms of the angle,
did I get it right? Got to put the finger under there?
No, it's too nose up. That might be part of your problem as well.
There you
go.
So
we might need to lower the nose down a little bit. It's probably
Could that be because I've got a fatter finger than you?
Possibly. It's gone the other way. It's about It's about 8. I call this an 8mm nose down attitude, and it might be better about another 4 or 5mm nose down. Have you tinkered with the angle much at all?
No.
That might be it as well because of the curvature of them. If you get the angle wrong, you tend to contact the saddle with different parts of your pelvic anatomy.
Right.
So you might be getting a point on the left which is just a bit more prominent, which is rubbing. So we'll try tinkering with the angle a little bit later when we the SMPs also tend to need to sit them further forward. So if you had like the two pair clamped in the center of the rail,
yes.
The SMP will almost always need to be 10 or 15 millimeters forward on the rail, in reference to the center. And you've got that here. You can see it's pushed a little bit of the way forward already.
Yes.
You just did that by feel, I think.
I did.
Yeah, so you've probably done a pretty good job there. So they almost always sit further forward. So your pelvis tends to sit a bit further back on them, which means that the seat needs to be further forward to maintain the same fore and aft position of the pelvis relative to the crank center line.
Cool.
We'll see how you look on it.
Thanks, mate.
No worries at all.
And number 2, it is school holidays at the moment, so just a bit of an update. What's going on? So there's Alice in the background there. You can just see her. Hi. So very exciting for the RCA members. I've been working on this project for probably 12 months. This is the new RCA kit. It's finally arrived. It comes in 2 different jerseys. This is the one with the blue sleeves, and this is the one with we're calling it apricot sleeves. What do you reckon? Which one is preferable? I'm going with the blue sleeves, but apricot's pretty cool. I don't have the tan skin for it though. And here are the kids watching themselves on YouTube. They did a cooking challenge show. And there's Rossi, he's waiting for some food. Don't give him any, as much as he would love it. So I should actually point out that it is actually Friday today. It's a Friday vlog series and I've just got back from a ride. Wanted to quickly shout out Sun God. They did provide these glasses to me, but what I was able to do because of the new kit, customize the glasses. As you can see, we've got blue frames and kind of orange lenses to match the kit. I reckon they look pretty cool. So thanks to Sun God. And one more thing that I wanted to mention is these glasses, they were provided to me at the Tour Down Under. So some time ago, I've been sitting on this. Apologies to Andrea from One More Ride. I'll link to them below. They provide tours overseas. I think they're affiliated with this glasses company. They're an Italian glasses company, NRC. I'll link to them below as well. What's really interesting about these glasses, the lenses are really quite unbelievable. The lenses are by, you read that there, but the actual frames, they're made out of all plant material. So if you're into saving the planet and all that good stuff, which I certainly am, look into these glasses. I'll link to them below. And in terms of what's been going on, been school holiday madness over the last couple of weeks. Kids go back to school next week, so I'll leave you with some scene of what's been going on, scooting, time, etc. Catch you in the next video.